Scorpio, sometimes life doesn't ask a person how deeply they feel. It asks how long they can keep their inner truth silent. Sometimes the heart knows everything already, but the tongue takes a long time to respond. Sometimes a relationship reveals its true colors before it breaks. Sometimes a silent resentment doesn't become anger, it just becomes a burden. Sometimes a week doesn't tell you who you have to fight, but rather what reality you have to accept within yourself. This week can bring you this realization. The conjunction of Mercury and Jupiter around November 13th can bring breadth to your thoughts and softness to your conversations. The conjunction of the Sun and Mercury on November 14th can illuminate an important truth. The new moon in Taurus on November 16th could signal a new beginning in your realm of relationships and connections. Mercury's entry into the gymnasium on November 17th could bring a sudden boost to your understanding. First understanding, then a name, then the door to a new patriarch, and finally, a thought that unravels a deeply held mystery within your heart. Scorpio, you possess a deep, loyal nature and the ability to sense the reality beneath the surface. You don't just listen, you also read the underlying emotions. But the real lesson this week isn't just about feeling, but about giving this felt truth its due place. This could be the time when you understand that not every silence is strength, and not every tolerance is loyalty. Sometimes, true strength lies in accepting that your heart no longer desires what it once did. A subtle but clear mental clarity November come to you at the beginning of the week. Something that previously seemed merely an internal uneasiness November now slowly demand words. You November realize that you've been carrying a relationship, a personal matter, or a silent emotional burden for a long time. But now your heart will want to understand it rather than just tolerate it. Around November 13th, the conjunction of Mercury and Jupiter can bring you an understanding that is not just mental but also heartwarming. A simple conversation, a piece of advice, or a comforting thought within yourself November show you that the issue isn't as complicated as you had previously made it out to be. The conjunction of the Sun and Mercury on November 14th can bring a clear reality to light, especially regarding a relationship, a promise, or a person. This week, November bring a feeling of I know it now. And when truth begins to find its place within your heart, the field of love has to be viewed with a new perspective. Scorpio, this week could be very important for you in matters of love. For you, love isn't just about being together. You demand trust, depth, and a state where you don't have to hide parts of your heart. You aren't satisfied with mere attraction, you want reality. If you're in a relationship, something important November become clear around November 13th and 14th. This could be about trust, intentions, commitment, or how genuinely the other person is. You November have been feeling a slight lack for a long time, but you weren't naming it. Now, that very thing November become clear to you. If the relationship is true, this clarification will strengthen it even further. If there's any baggage, a silent gap, or an unresolved situation within a relationship, it November become apparent, and this week will be a blessing, because for you, truth is better than fantasy. The new moon in Taurus on November 16th November signal a new beginning, especially in your relationships, and this new beginning doesn't always come in the form of a new person. Sometimes it's a new commitment within an existing relationship. Sometimes a clear commitment, sometimes a soft but clear conversation, and sometimes an acceptance that your heart needs some kind of companionship. If you're single, this week your heart November be drawn to someone who appears comforting but feels strong inside. Around November 17th, a sudden connection November arise, a seemingly unreliable message, or a person November be incomprehensible. But this time, you won't act solely on interest. You'll also consider whether trust can be established with this person. Is there depth or truth? Is there a place where your heart can be free? And where love begins to reveal its true colors? At the same time, questions of money, work, and complex responsibilities also begin to demand their place. Scorpio, this week could be significant for you in the practical world as well. You generally understand the flow of real power beyond the surface in the workplace. You know where words are mere words and where real authority lies. But this week November not only be about understanding, but also about making the right decisions. Around November 13th, you November gain a more detailed understanding of a complex project, an agreement, or a responsibility. Around November 14th, something November become clear that shows you where you need to be lenient and where you need to be firm. After November 16th, the new moon in Taurus could lay a new foundation for a personal, work-related issue or practical solution. If you're in business, it could be a time to reframe a matter or a constantly evolving situation. If you're employed, the situation with someone could change. If you're a scholar, You might realize that sometimes it's wise to seek appropriate assistance rather than shouldering everything alone. This week could be particularly important in financial matters, particularly for addressing external responsibilities or things that have only been a burden in your heart but haven't been addressed. This could be a time to name a matter, settle a score, or re-examine an old burden. Around November 17th, unexpected news, new advice, or an idea November emerge that could lead you to a new door, financially or practically. But this time, don't rush, your true strength will be yours. And when life's external affairs begin to demand their due diligence, the inner pressures of the body, sleep, and heart also begin to speak. Scorpio, this week your tensions November initially be inward and then relatively intense towards the end. Therefore, it will be important to pay special attention to sleep, emotional burdens, silent anger, and unbearable pressures. If you accept the true state of your heart, at least to yourself, this week November be even lighter for you. It will be beneficial for you to experience a few genuine moments in quiet solitude and to feel the rhythm of your body. Especially around November 17th, your mind November become more intense. Therefore, it will not be in your best interest to immediately dismiss every thought. And when a person sees their silence, their love, and their burdens all together, then the true lesson of this week emerges. Scorpio, your victory this week is not just in how deeply you feel. Your real victory lies in giving this depth a proper name. The truth that is slowly dawning within you. Don't postpone it. A new foundation is being formed in your relationships or in the realm of the heart after November 16th. Recognize it, and the sudden understanding that November come around November 17th. Don't take it lightly. Sometimes, a single truth is enough to liberate the heart. Ask yourself this question: am I truly standing by my truth, or have I been holding myself back all this time, mistaking silence for strength? Scorpio, this week could be a week of explanation after silence, and a new foundation after explanation. Understanding November emerge around November 13th. An important reality November become apparent on November 14th. November 16th could mark a new beginning in relationships or mutual promises, and November 17th could bring a sudden message or new insight. If you accept the truth of your heart with respect, give your silence the right words and connect your intensity with a new foundation. So this relationship could be the beginning of real change for you. If you're a Scorpio, write in the comments, truth or a new foundation. Because this week, the stars are showing you which truth the depths of your heart are now demanding its rightful place. If you enjoyed the Scorpio video, please like it. Share it with your friends and subscribe too. See you in the next video. Until then, take care of yourself and your friends.